to tell you a little bit about some activities I use in my classroom for short vowel word work, helping students understand short vowels and learn how to spell CVC words. So the first thing I do is I come up with a list of 8 short vowel words that in progression just differ by one letter as they move through. So here's an example of 8 photos I've created, and I put the words on here just for you to see them, but I do not put the words on the actual photo cards. Now let me show you how you can do 5 different center activities or small group pocket chart activities using just these 8 cards. First activity, beginning sound sort. When I'm doing a sorting of any kind, I like to define the workspace for children. And one way I like to do that is by using craft foam. So I simply cut the craft foam into strips and place as many strips as I need for my sort. And in this case, I need 4 columns. Then I would have the children put the letter labels at the top of each column because we're going to be sorting these 8 photo cards by their beginning sound. And then they would simply place the photos in the correct column. As you can see, there's 1 that starts with the letter T, top, 3 that start with C, cut, cap, and cup, 2 for N, nut and net, and 2 for M, map and mop. Now, a second activity we can do is an ending sound sort, and this is more difficult, but in this case, children are going to be listening for the last sound they hear in each word, and they're going to sort them based on that sound. So in this case, they would be sorting into 2 groups, some of the words in with the letter P and some with T. A third activity now is called word frames, and what I do for this one is I create a frame for each of those CVC words, and I put the beginning sound and the ending sound on the frame, and I leave a space in the middle, which is where they're going to place the photo that works with that frame. So here's an example of some photos they've placed. Cut, cap, and net. So now we've worked with the beginning sound, the ending sound, and put them together. This is the way this activity might look if you put it at a center. I use a file folder and I put the 8 frames in the folder. I put 1 page on one side and 1 on the other, and then give kids a baggie with the photo cards in it, and they simply place the cards in like a puzzle until they've placed all 8 cards. A third activity, or excuse me, fourth activity is called See and Spell. Now, this time I've created a little task card that helps them move from one photo to the next by just changing 1 letter each time as they spell it. So I create these little task cards and I cut them apart and I place number 1 on top and all the way down to number 8. And what they're going to do now is, first of all, number 1 just says to spell top, so they're going to take their letter tiles and fill in the blank spaces underneath until they have the word top. Then they're going to flip that card at the top to number 2, and now it says to change top to mop. So they're simply going to change out whichever letter they need to do that. And this is the way it might look when you put it all together. You can see I've stapled the task cards at the top. They just flip through them, and there's a little mat at the bottom portion where they're going to be placing their letter tiles. Now, a fifth activity you can do then is called Pick a Pair. And in this case now, they've been practicing spelling the words. They know the beginning and ending sounds. So now I simply have them match the picture card with the word cards. I create 8 word cards that match those pictures. And then again, I like to use a file folder. So here I've put a mat on the left where they're going to be placing the cards. And then I put a coordinating reproducible on the right so they can actually draw their picture and write the word. And then this gives me some accountability, especially if you put this at a center, so that you know what they've done and they can turn those pages into you and you can see how far they've progressed. Now, all 5 of those activities were for 1 unit in this particular resource. And as you can see, it's the pink unit, and I put an X now because we've gone through all 5 activities. And this is a tracking sheet that students can use at the center as well. And you can see here from this, it kind of shows you there are 5 different units in this resource, and we've just gone through the pink unit, but there are 4 other units that all work the same way. If you'd like more information about short vowel word work, that includes 40 photo cards, 40 word cards, and all the other things you need to do these activities, we hope you'll visit us at teachbright.com.